Good afternoon, everybody. It's Friday afternoon here on the 28th of October, and it's just on school ending time, so you'll probably hear all the kids leaving from school on a Friday afternoon. Yay! Anyway, I got a bit of music playing, so hopefully not too noisy from outside. Okay, we're going to make a Christmas card. It's called an explosion gatefold card, and I saw Julie Davidson, who's also a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the US, make this card, and I thought, yeah, okay, how hard can that be? But it was all in US sizes, so I had to sit down and do a bit of tweaking, do a bit of working out. So I've got all the sizes for you for an Australian normal size card. Okay, so first things first, I'll get on to all the details that we're going to be using today. We're going to be using, this is in the July to December mini catalogue, and it's going to be this stamp set here, which is called the Merriest Moments. I'm sorry if that's a bit glary. That's where it is. It's on page 23 of that catalogue. Here's the stamp set here. I've got the stamps already mounted, so we're going to be able to just go straight in and do this card today. I've got everything prepared. I try to make it as quick as possible. I know everyone's really busy, so let's have a look. So that's the stamp set. That's in the mini catalogue, July to December. I'll just pop that out of the way. The other things that we're going to be using are from the annual catalogue, and we're using these beautiful papers. Now, they're not necessarily Christmas papers, but they kind of are. It's called the Textured Chic, and these are the papers here, and they go with all these colours here. If you have a look in the catalogue, it's on page 99. It's on page 99. And all of these colours here are listed. Now, they're listed on the packaging as well. And there's a beautiful, some beautiful distressed gold paper that is available in this sweet collection, but we're not using that today. But isn't that gorgeous? I don't know if you can see the variation in that. I hope you can. Anyway, the paper that we're using does have some gold in it, so we're using just that. We're going to use both sides because our papers are double-sided. So they're the papers we're using. We're going to be using these beautiful little red rhinestone basic jewels, and they're on page 142 of the annual catalogue. They're beautiful. And also these brushed metallic. Now you've got like a brushed brass, a copper, and I'm not exactly sure what colour that is. Don't know if it's listed. Copper, gold, and bronze. Okay. So copper, gold, and bronze. Okay. So we're going to be using those. We're also going to be using the stylish shapes. I'm getting a lot of mileage out of these dies at the moment. They're quite versatile. It's a standalone die set, and you've got squares, circles, and banners. So we're using these two, the second largest and then the one just below that. We're going to be using those two. I've already cut them out. So, yeah, hopefully to save a bit of time. So I think that's all. I'll probably come up with something else. Anyway, let's get this started. I'll get a bit of business out of the way too while we're here. Oops, dropped something. As I said, my name is Jill Lancet. If you follow me, you probably already know that. My store is jilllancet.stampinup.net. And this is the October host code, which will end on the 31st. And today is the 28th. So, yeah, Also ending on the 31st is the great joining offer at the moment. Now, you normally get $235 worth of products for $169 if you join my team. But until the 31st, you can get $283 worth of products for $169. And you don't have to do anything else after that. You don't have to be a demonstrator. You don't have to sell anything. You don't have to run classes or anything like that. You can just do that. You've got 4 months, it is. I think you can buy products at a 20% discount from the day you join, from the order that you put in from your starter kit. If you don't want to continue with that, then do nothing. If you want to buy your stuff your craft stuff at 20% discount, then you have like 4 months to be able to do that. It's a good deal. Look, if you want to know more about it, just contact me and I can go into greater detail. But today we're going to make a card. So I've got everything here. And as I said, Julie Davidson from the US put this up on her YouTube channel, and I really liked it. We made it in our card class on Sunday. You might have seen pictures on my Facebook page, but we're going to do it in greater detail right here. So let's start with the basics. We've got our normal card size, which is 21 centimeters by 14.85. Now, normally we would score it there, but we're actually scoring it at 5.25 centimeters and then turning it around and scoring it again at 5.25. Now, that creates a gatefold, and they meet in the middle just nicely. If you try to do it any other way other than just doing one side and then turning it around, I've found it doesn't really work very well. So we'll just give that a score, and we have the basis of our card. Might just turn that music down a bit. I don't know if it's annoying you or not. So that's our basic card. So we can pop that over here. And hang on, she says. And we'll carry on. Now, the explosion part, actually I'll leave that on there for the second. The explosion part is our beautiful double-sided. Now, one side is Evening Evergreen with the gold foil, and the other side is predominantly soft succulent with a bit of white. So this is 10 centimeters by 20 centimeters, and we're going to score that at intervals of 5, 10 and 15. So we'll do that in 1 minute. The other items that you need are these two for the front of the card. So it's 2 panels, 4 centimeters by 13.8. So 2 of those. We're using a belly band, and just to use the offcuts, it's 20 centimeters by 3.2. Now, it doesn't go all the way around, but that's okay because we're having a panel on the front, so don't panic. Don't panic yet. Out of one of the offcuts of the designer series paper, I have a panel 7.5 by 10.5. Now, there's a whopping great hole in there. Yeah, I know, because I chopped this piece out. I die cut this piece out so that I didn't have to cut into another piece of the designer series paper. So that is where our stylish shapes come in. It is the bigger of the two, so it is this one here. And then we need a scrap of white, basic white, and we're going to cut it out of the next size down. So you'll see these fit into one another, nesting dies. Okay. So we have those two pieces. We have that piece there. We have a piece of scrap white. It's just a bit of old packaging cardboard. And we have this piece which is 6.9 by 9.8. Now this is the front of the belly band and we will be stamping on this. So I'll just show you what we're doing. I'll take this off here and we'll get into business. Just bear with me for 2 seconds. I'm just going to pop all of this stuff over here and we'll concentrate on this for the minute. Now this is the explosion piece. It's the 10 by 20 centimetres. And we're going to score that at 5, 10 and 15 centimetres. So make sure you're using your scoring blade, which is the light grey one. Pop that cutting blade right down the bottom out of the way. And we're going to pop this in here. And I'll just keep this on there so you can see. We're going to score at 5. So putting it up to 5 centimetres there. Now you don't want to press too hard. Across to 10. Make sure this is up against here. And then at 15. Okay. So we have this piece here. Now we're going to fold this. So we'll fold it in half. And we're actually going to be using this beautiful gold side. So folding it in half, folding it on this score, and then on this score here. Okay, now I have a bit of a diagram here just to show you what we're doing. So we have scored it at 5, at 10 and at 15. So we're at this stage now. So we want to fold this top corner to here to create this diagonal, and I'm going to show you right here. So usually what I do, there's the score line there. I just pop my fingernail and then pop this piece down. Make sure it's even, and then just give that a really nice burnish with the bone folder. Now we're going to open it out and do the same from the bottom up. Okay. So just like so. Give that a nice burnish. And we're going to turn it around. So you can see we've got all these funny looking folds, but they will become evident in just a few minutes. So doing the same with the other side. And now there's a bit of a ratty looking edge there. Don't know if you can see it. Probably see it on this side. This is what I use. I went down to the nail place and I just bought one of these. It's just like a foam block, and it's like a sanding block, and I just run it down the edge and it usually gets all that fuzzy stuff off. Okay, so now we've got this, and the way this is going to end up is we're going to bring these two triangles, top and bottom triangles, into the center, and the same on this side. Now you can see it kind of just, it wants to fold like that because we've made these really good creases in it. So we've got this little piece. Now we need to do some stamping, and we're going to pop that over there, and we're going to do some stamping. Now I have set this all up already on the oops, she says, on the Stamparatus. They were still on there from my class on Sunday, so I saw no need whatsoever to take them off, given that they were already in position. So we've got this little piece here that is already die cut, and I wanted the sentiment to be on the angle. And so the easiest way to do this is to put your straight sides up against your straight sides and put your stamp on the diagonal. So let's just have a look here. Okay, so we're going to be doing this in the Evening Evergreen because we want it to tie in with everything. And the good thing about the Stamparatus is if I don't get this right, I can just do it over again. Nothing's moved. If the cardstock does move, you just push it back up into the corner. Make sure those two corners are up there. And stamp it. Now you might want to hold that down. I have actually got an extra shim underneath it, which is just another piece of cardstock underneath here. When it's very close to the hinge, sometimes it, you know, it just sort of stops it from stamping correctly. So that looks okay, but yeah, it could be a little bit darker there. So all things being equal, I should be able to just re-stamp this. And it should be in the same place. You can't see, but metaphorically my fingers are crossed. And that's beautiful. Look at that. Very, very nice. So that one's done. So I'll pop that one over there. Now our other little panel, we're going to take this off and turn it around because I have already positioned the other stamp there. I'm just going to give this a wipe. Just give that a clean with my Stampin' Chamois, which has just got water on it. And to clean it, it's just rinse it in water and it will clean. Right, so same thing in Evening Evergreen, and just stamping. You can see that was stained. The red inks will stain these clear polymer stamps, but they don't hurt them, they just stain them. So up in the corner and hold that down for a minute. Okay, now I can see that it hasn't done the seasons, so I'm going to make sure I pay particular attention to that. Could be the position of the magnet, so we'll just have a look at that. And I'll just make sure I pay particular attention to that. As I said, sometimes when it's right up in the corner, it doesn't want to cooperate. Okay, now I think that could be just a little darker. So I'm just doing that just these couple of letters here up in the corner, and hold that down. I couldn't do this if I didn't have this. Okay, you can see through them, but look, for my money, this is the best thing since sliced bread. Look at that. Now I stamped that 3 times over the top of it, and it's done it perfectly. Okay, so that's the stamping we're going to do with the Stamparatus. I'll just clean this and get that off my desk, and then we can get into the rest of it. Okay, I can just pop that away. Okay, so we've got our bits and pieces now. I want to do some stamping on this, and I want to do it freehand. I'm going to get my Stamp and Pierce mat out now, because I'm going to be using some photopolymer stamps. And they don't have cushioning like the red rubber ones do, so you need some sort of cushioning. So that's why we have the Stamp and Pierce mat. So I'm just going to do a bit of stamping, and I've got several stamps here, and we're just going to do a bit of freelancing, really, just some freelancing. So with Cherry Cobbler, I just want to get some scrap paper under here so I don't stamp all over my mat. There we go. And this is the larger of the poinsettias from the stamp set. Okay, so we're going to use Cherry Cobbler, and you can see that's quite stained. As I said, it doesn't hurt the stamp at all. In some cases it's good, because then you can see where you're going. So I'm just going to do one quite large one here. And I'm kind of doing it off to the side. I'm not doing it right smack bang in the middle. Right, hold that down for a minute. Let that ink soak into the cardstock. I'm not pressing like really hard or anything. The cushion is doing the work for me, in as far as it's pushing back. So there we go there. Now the smaller one, I'm going to do the same colour. This is the Cherry Cobbler. I think it might need to be re-inked, but it doesn't matter. I'm going for that rustic look. So I'm going to put that one there. And on this side, I'm going to do another one. Okay. Let's see. We'll have them going down like this, I think. Yep. Okay. Now, in the centre of these, we're going to put this. It's like little, I don't know what you call it, stamens. Poinsettias do have stamens, I think. So we'll just pop that in there, like that. We'll do another one off the page on that side. And this one here. Okay, that's all we're going to use that for. Now, in the Dark Evening Evergreen, we're going to do some of these branches, like fir tree branches, I guess you call them. Now, there's a big one and a small one. I'm just using the big one because I can go off the page. It looks like. Okay, so I'm going to just fill in some spaces around here now. And you probably don't have to ink up the whole thing if you know that you're just using a little bit of it. We're just filling it in just so that it looks a bit fuller. And some more around here. And you'd be surprised what a little bit of colour can do. To fill in these spaces around here. We're telling a bit of a story here. And then we're going to do some more in the soft succulent. Now these colours will tie in with the papers and etc. So we'll just pop that one there like that. That's all from that one. And with the soft succulent, there's this little, I'll stamp it on the paper first, but I will be stamping it off. It's just like a little, I don't know what you'd call that, snowflakes. That's probably it, snowflakes. So I'm going to stamp it off because I just want a very light impression. So you can see that it just helps fill in the gaps. So we're going to stamp that off there. And some more over here. And yeah, apparently I can't talk and stamp at the same time. Yeah, we're having crazy weather at the moment. It's one day it's kind of cold, the next day it's like really hot and muggy. Yeah, you just don't know what to wear. You get up in the morning and you put about 6 layers on because you know you're probably going to be taking them off towards the end of the day. But yeah. So this is what we call a belly band on this card here. That's going to be on our belly band. Right, so I'm going to pop all of those out of the way now. I think we're finished with the stamping. And we'll get to putting this together. Okay, now, first things first. Remember this piece, and I cut a whopping great hole in it. Well, I'm just going to pop this piece of card, this piece of scrap on the back of it, just to give it a bit of strength, because it will be a belly band and it'll be taken off. So yeah, I'm just going to put a bit of glue on that. Just put a bit of glue on the top of this. And just on the sides of this, I think, just to make sure. Okay, there we go. Right, so bring back my little mat so I don't make a mess everywhere. So that's just going to give it a bit of strength because I've cut the middle out of it, so now it's not so flimsy. That's the only reason for that. I mean, if you had another scrap, just use that. Now we're going to put this piece on there like that. But we might actually go around the edges of this just so that it looks a bit more defined. And this is a really good trick you can do. Instead of having another layer of cardstock, you can just do this. And that's just, I'm just wiping, basically wiping the edge with the ink pad. Now you can do it with our sponge daubers, but this is just as quick. It's really easy, especially with these little ink spots. And you're probably thinking, well, it doesn't look any different, but I think when we put it up against the lighter background, you may notice it a bit better. So we'll get some glue on the back of this. Give that a second to dry. Put some glue on the back of this. Bit in the middle. And we'll pop it on and you'll see the difference that's made. Now I'll just hold that up for you. And you can see it's just made that a definite edge rather than melding into the rest of it. So that's done. That's out of the way. There's the other part of the belly band. We'll put that up there as well. Now we'll get on with the business of making this card. So the first thing we want to do is put these two pieces on to the panels on the front of our card. Now they'll go straight on. They've got the beautiful gold foil as an accent. So you don't need a terrible lot of glue. I mean, it probably looks like I've just put a whole pile on, but I haven't. And there's going to be a border. It's going to be a border like that. And the good part about this glue is, you know, you've got a bit of time to move that if it's not in exactly the right spot. Seems a shame to put glue on this side. Well, it would seem a shame to put a glue on the other side, but the perils of double-sided paper. Okay, so this one's going on here. Just check that they're even. That looks okay to me. Okay. Now, here's the tricky bit. Well, it's not even tricky. Okay, we've got our little, I don't know, what would you call it, accordion, our little accordion piece. And in here, you'll see there's a distinct diamond. So what we're going to do is we're going to glue that to that, and then we're going to glue that to that. Once you've done all of the cutting and the scoring and everything, it's not that complicated, yet it looks like it could have been, if you know what I mean. So this diamond shape fits in there perfectly, so that stylish shapes die is actually the perfect size. Look at that. How good's that? So we're going to pop that in there, and we're just going to match up this point and this point with the score line, just so we've got it straight. And then we're going to pop this all together. So score line goes straight down there. We're going to match up the points. If you've got those 2 points lined up, the rest of it just falls into place. Doesn't that look nice? It's like a little peekaboo surprise. Now, here's the thing. We've got to get this in here. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to pop a little bit of glue on one side only. Okay, I'm not worrying about this back part. I'm not worrying about that. I just want to put some glue on this triangle. Okay, so it is a bit muggy here today. This glue is acting like it's all runny. Okay, so I want to line this up top and bottom and side to side. It doesn't quite go right to the folds, as you can see, but I want to have it lined up more so up towards the top of the card. Okay, so if you can see the position this is in now, and I want to line this edge up with this edge. And so with the liquid glue, you've got that little bit of wiggle room to line that up. And there we go. So just give that a minute. Just give that one little minute to adhere, and then we're going to do the same thing with the other side. Magic, magic, and easier than you would have thought. So a bit of glue on this side now. I tried this with the tear and tape. I got all stuck everywhere. I couldn't wriggle it. I couldn't move it. So there's our beautiful little gatefold card. I'll give that a second, and then we'll have a look at the explosion inside. And look, you don't need to glue that because it stays inside. Now, if you haven't lined that up, you can just trim that off. But honestly, as I like to always say, a blind man would like to see any little bits that are out of place. So that's that easy, and that will actually stand up. That will stand up. And yeah, it was a bit harder to glue that on and then try and get those to match up. So I just dispensed with that step and it worked beautifully. Look at that. So now we're going to make our belly band. So we've got our piece, which is 3.2 centimetres by 20 centimetres. And as I said, it is not going to go all the way around, but we don't need it to. So I thought I would use that side of the paper, same as that side, just to differentiate it from that. So what you want to do is you want to lay it on there and actually lay it at the back. So lay it at the back and then just loosely fold that. Okay, you don't want it to be so tight because it has to slide on and off. So I reckon not quite to the borders, and then just press it down. Just press it down loosely. So then we're going to glue that onto there. And we're going to decorate this with some gems and things. Okay, so I think sometimes the easiest way to do this is to do it on there. So don't get too carried away with the glue. We just want to have just enough. Sometimes less glue actually works better. And we want to go down about halfway. So we'll just put a little bit on here and a little bit on there. Now we're just going to pop the two together. Now you do want to take a bit of care lining this up, because where this goes is where it's going to go on the front of the card. Okay. Now I'm just going to slide that off and make sure that that stays down. Okay. So our little belly band goes on like this. And slides down like that. And that's how they'll receive it in the mail. And when they pull that off, your message is inside. Now you can write on the back, put your message on the back, your handwritten message on the back. I love the way that this shows both sides of that paper when it's standing up, and we've matched the opposite side on there. Okay, so we're going to decorate this now. So I've got these beautiful brushed gold. I might put those in there, and my Take Your Pick is still in my bag, so I'm going to have to use just some ordinary tweezers. Oh, there we go. So I'll put the big one on there. Might not have even had to stamp that, but I just wanted to make sure it would be covered. And I'll put a small one on there. These are so nice. I really like these. There's some new ones coming out that are quite bright gold, and they have like a swirl design in them. They won't be out until the 4th of, I think is it the 4th of November? No, the 1st of November. Early November, I'm just going to say. So we'll just pop that there like that. Now with these little red ones, you could go crazy with these. So I thought maybe a couple on the inside of the card might be nice, because there's a bit of, you know, weight to it. You could just do a couple here, just do one there. This is, I'm always blingly challenged when it comes to this. Oh, I never know where to put them, but look, that's going there because it fell there. Much easier with your take your pick tool, I must say. Okay, so see, they're okay. The belly band's going to protect those, I think. And we'll put a couple around here. We'll put some, try and do odd numbers. Whatever you're doing, do odd numbers. Okay, so we'll put one there, maybe one down here somewhere. See, this is decisions. Remember the old ad, chips or straws? Okay, there. And we could even put some on here. So we could put one there, maybe that's it. And I'll just pop that back on there. And this is why you don't do it too tight, otherwise you'll never get it on there. And I think that's a beautiful little card. Thank you, Julie Davidson. I think it's Davison. Yeah, I think it's Davison. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. The girls in the class on Sunday really did. They were very, very impressed. Basically, that it wasn't really as difficult as they first thought. When I took that belly band off and showed them that, and they were like, oh no. Of course you could stamp around the inside of the card if you wanted to, but I don't think it needs it. There's a lot going on there. We've got that beautiful gold foil happening. Your card, you make it the way you'd like to make it. But yeah, I thought that was a really lovely card, and I was so glad I saw Julie's YouTube. So there you go. I'll leave that there for a second. Don't forget, go to my store, JillLancet.stampinup.net. All of the things that you've just seen that went into making this card are all on my website. If you ever want a catalogue, give me send me a message, and I'll get one out to you in the mail, or if you're close, I'll drop it by. And the October host code is here, ends on the 31st, as does the great joining offer, where you get $283. This stuff, you pick what you want. It's not a standard starter kit. You pick what you want. One of my girls on my team, she went for the mini stamp and cut and emboss machine. She added that to her kit because it was a big dollar item. She added that to her kit, and then she just added other things around it to get the $283. So yeah, think about it before you decide to join. Jot it all down, work out what you want in your starter kit, and you'll also get a business kit, which is free, and that is some catalogues that you can share around to your family and friends. And yeah, and from then on, you will enjoy your 20% discount on anything that you order. Again, if you're interested in that, just send me a message and I'll send you some details regarding that. Well, I know this has been a bit longer than normal. I know that everybody's really busy, and I really appreciate your time. So thank you very much. And yeah, see you on the next video. Bye.